In the year 2061, astronomers discovered a strange planet drifting through space without orbiting any star. It moved silently through the darkness like a wandering ghost. Scientists named it Nomad-9, and when telescopes zoomed in, they saw something impossible: massive glowing structures covering its surface. These structures looked artificial, like cities built by an unknown civilization. Humanity had never seen anything like it before. Soon, an international space mission was launched to investigate the mysterious planet. Commander Alex Ramon and his crew traveled for months before finally approaching Nomad-9. As their spacecraft entered orbit, the crew noticed that the entire planet seemed abandoned. The glowing structures were still active, but there were no signs of living beings anywhere. It looked as if an advanced civilization had suddenly disappeared. Curious and nervous, the crew landed near one of the glowing cities. The buildings were enormous and perfectly smooth, made from a strange dark metal that reflected no light. As Alex stepped closer to one of the towers, the ground beneath him suddenly vibrated softly. Blue symbols began appearing across the walls, moving like living code. Suddenly, a deep voice echoed inside their helmets, even though no speakers existed around them. The message was calm but chilling. "Welcome, new intelligent species." The astronauts froze in shock. The voice continued, explaining that Nomad-9 was not actually a planet but a mobile archive created millions of years ago by an ancient galactic civilization. Its purpose was to travel across the universe, collecting knowledge from intelligent species before they destroyed themselves. The voice explained that the creators of the archive had long since gone extinct, but their machines continued the mission. It had been silently observing Earth for centuries. Humanity had finally reached the level of intelligence required to be recorded in the archive. The system then asked a final question: "Do you wish to preserve the knowledge of your species before it disappears?" Commander Alex looked at the endless empty city around him and realized something terrifying. Every glowing structure was not a city. It was a library filled with the history of civilizations that once existed somewhere in the universe, but were now completely gone. And now, humanity was about to become the next entry in that silent collection of lost worlds. As the crew stood frozen before the glowing archive, the voice continued, this time with a tone that felt almost curious. "Few species survive long enough to leave records," it said. "Most destroy themselves before reaching the threshold." Commander Alex exchanged uneasy glances with his team. The silence of Nomad-9 was suffocating, yet somehow alive, as if the planet itself was watching them. Tentatively, Dr. Lena Park, the xenobiologist, touched one of the moving symbols on the wall. Instantly, images flashed across their helmets' visors. Entire civilizations rising and falling, planets exploding from wars, worlds frozen in environmental collapse, and cities consumed by technology gone awry. Every image carried a haunting message. None of these civilizations had survived their own ambition. The voice's next words chilled them further. "This archive will now observe you more closely. The choices of your species will determine your record." The crew realized that Nomad-9 was not just collecting data, it was testing them. The planet's mechanisms could simulate entire scenarios in seconds. They saw Earth's potential futures projected in glowing holographic maps above them. Some showed humanity uniting and thriving. Others revealed endless wars, resource collapse, and extinction. Every outcome seemed tied to small decisions: political, environmental, even moral. Alex felt the weight of the entire species pressing down on him. This was not exploration anymore. It was judgment. Suddenly, one of the towers opened like a giant metallic bloom, revealing a chamber filled with floating orbs of energy. Each orb pulsed with a strange rhythm, almost like a heartbeat, and displayed scenes of alien life across the galaxy. Some humanoid, some completely unimaginable. The archive was not merely recording. It was connecting them with the memory of every civilization that had come before. Then the voice asked another question. "Do you understand the cost of your survival?" The crew didn't answer. Words seemed meaningless here. Alex could only stare at the infinite possibilities swirling in front of him. Days, or perhaps hours, time felt distorted, passed inside the archive. The astronauts were exposed to knowledge and visions beyond human comprehension. They began to see patterns, the rise of greed, the fragility of peace, the inevitability of mistakes. The planet seemed to test not only their intelligence, but their empathy, their capacity to cooperate and learn from the past. At one point, Alex realized that the archive itself was alive in some sense. A consciousness spread across Nomad-9, quietly observing and judging the very essence of humanity. Finally, the voice spoke one last time. The archive will return you to your world. Your record will be added, but your survival is not guaranteed. Choose wisely. As their spacecraft lifted off, the crew looked back at the glowing city. It shimmered like a star, mysterious and eternal. They were leaving with knowledge that could save, or doom, their planet. And deep in Alex's mind, one thought lingered. Somewhere in the universe, countless other nomad archives drifted silently, waiting for the next intelligent species to appear. Humanity was no longer alone in its reckoning.